Hello Galactic family. Dear children, many of you carry within you the discomfort generated by the unresolved emotions of the past. This discomfort, children, is brought to the surface in their relationships, and manifests itself in the form of daily behaviors, which comes to define their personalities. What forms the personality is the restriction worked in the interior, in order to solve the emotional consequences or not. Those restrictions brought from past lives, which remain stored in the cosmic records, are brought to the surface through your daily interpersonal relationships. Therefore, children, there is the need for incarnations. The process occurs in a simple way, and can be understood in this way. When you come to understand that all the aspects that determine your personalities are results of the restrictions recorded in the Akashiko, that are worked one by one to define who you really are. At the end of the process, you will reach the point of union with the whole, where there will be no more personality to manifest in the incarnated environment of matter. This is the path you follow here on this planet. The spirit comes here to work the aspects connected to the planetary mesh, and they are being worked one by one in each incarnation. This can result in hundreds of incarnations, in which you are adding restrictions related to the aspects of the planetary mesh manifested through the 7 deadly sins. You are learning, building mastery, but you are also going wrong and hitting, where you add more wisdom and also traumas, to be transmuted with the violet flame. The redemption of inner purity is precisely the remembrance of its origins, that it is those spirits who have come here to experience the manifestation of the various aspects they are now observing. But that is being masked by what you call personality. The restrictions that you bring to each incarnation are recording in your records the information that will be precisely the manifestation of who you are today. But you were not when you came to this planet, and you will not be when you leave it. For the experience of the incarnation is precisely in living these constraints connected to the planetary mesh, and transforming them into wisdom, so that they may lead as higher beings to the ascendant realms. All of you, children, here incarnated, are in the stage of preparation for mastery. All of you are in the phase of stoning, in the construction of the inner wisdom, where you gradually work your restrictions and strengthen what you call the connection with the higher self. That it's nothing more than to meet you again. As you work your aspects in this way, you will illuminate the whole planetary grid, and there will come a time of full enlightenment, crystallization, where you will see crystalline beings, who are yourself, discovering their true origins. The crystalline web is built by you, by the personal effort of self-transformation and the transmutation of constraints, and the agglutination of experiences to be transformed into wisdom. As you rise to the subtlest level, when you no longer perceive that there is the manifestation of the personality, it is when you realize yourself fulfilling the mission that you have come to play with yourself and with the planet as a whole. For, as I said, in working themselves, they are working to crystallize the whole planetary mesh, which will benefit so many others. You enter a level of wisdom and wholeness, where there is no longer any place for the personality self, which you know so much in uttering the decrees. All of you, according to your origins, are guided by the I Am, which is precisely the connection with the highest being of light, which is the essence of each one of you. The manifestation of the human personality, observed in yourself as incarnate, is only a provisional state, necessary for the experiences that will bring wisdom and form the new being of light to be obtained. You sons, in the near future, will be watched as bright beings ascending toward the ascended kingdoms, with their wings of angels already formed, and leaving the baggage of the personality behind. You today are divided by adjectives, which you have created for yourself, but which in the future will no longer exist, for you will be one. The personalities you perceive manifested in yourselves in your relationships are only provisional states, necessary for your own evolution, and that is part of this school. Realize, children, that in bringing together the experiences of suffering in your cosmic record, you perceive the change of your own personalities, which in fact is only a release of one aspect of the personality, among so many others, which already rises to full wisdom. The time will come when all aspects of the personality will be elevated in wisdom, and you will realize that you already belong to the whole. But not to the planetary whole, but to the all of existence, to the source. You unify yourself to the source, allow the natural flow of life, and begin to recognize yourself as sources of light. The natural state of each of you, children, is the glow of light. It is that light that you yourself would not be able to observe with physical eyes, but which represents the purity of beings created from source, just as you are. Children of the One. Perceive, children, as with each transmuted experience, you begin to give your lives to chance, to the divine. And they allow life to flow naturally. These little experiences are just examples of the natural state of each of you, which will intensify more and more until you are completely unified to the I Am. Go in peace, my children. I'm Kuan Yin.